They say winter nights can be quiet enough to hear your own breath, but sometimes silence gets split wide open by the sound of a gunshot. That night on a cracked street in Cleveland Heights, a young black nurse named Marissa Lane was holding her baby girl close, whispering into the soft fleece of a pink blanket when a bullet tore through her ribs and changed everything. She didn't scream right away, her body wouldn't let her, but the crowd around her did. One voice cut through the chaos. She had a baby. She was holding a baby. And that was the moment the city realized it had just witnessed something it couldn't ignore. Marissa wasn't out looking for trouble. She had just finished a 12-hour hospital shift, walked out of the ER with tired eyes and a sore back, thinking only about formula diapers and how she was going to keep her heat bill paid this month. Her old car hadn't started all week, and calling an Uber after midnight in that neighborhood wasn't safe. So she walked, hoodie pulled up, her baby tucked tight against her chest. You know how it is, you tell yourself, just keep moving. Don't give anybody a reason. Then the headlights hit her. A cruiser rolling up slow, the kind of slow that makes your stomach knot before you even hear the voice bark. Ma'am, stop. She turned careful because she'd been through this before. Officer Derek Collins was already stepping forward, hand on his weapon. His partner, Luke Ramirez, hung back, eyes uneasy. Collins squinted at her like he was already building the ending to a story he hadn't even heard yet. You match a description, he said. Marissa blinked. What description? Black hoodie, black female carrying a concealed item. Marissa lifted her hand slowly, showing the blanket. This isn't an item. This is my daughter. You can see her. You can hear her. But Collins didn't see a mother. He saw a silhouette, a shape in the dark. Show me what's under the blanket. She's sleeping, Marissa whispered, begging the baby not to wake up now. Now! His voice sharpened, snapping like ice. Ramirez tried softer. Derek, she's holding a baby. But Collins cut him off, dropped the blanket, hands where I can see them. Marissa's fingers twitched, just a reflex to hold her daughter tighter. And that was it. The pop was deafening, brutal. She staggered, knees buckling, blood soaking through her hoodie. Her baby slipped, but Marissa caught her with shaking arms, clutching her like life itself. Phones went up instantly. One teenager shouted into his live stream, "This cop just shot a black mother holding her baby. I got it on camera." The clip spread faster than anyone could have predicted. While the city scrolled in horror, somewhere across town, a journalist named Tasha Lane, Marissa's older sister, froze when her phone buzzed. The link opened and there she was, her baby sister bleeding on the sidewalk, still clinging to her child. Tasha grabbed her keys, her laptop, her press badge. This wasn't just another headline. This was family. This was war. In the hospital, Marissa woke to fluorescent lights and the steady beep of machines. Pain crawled through her ribs with every breath, but the only thing she cared about was the little bassinet beside her bed. Her daughter, Delilah, was alive, breathing. That was the prayer she held on to. But then the TV in the corner stole that peace. A press conference. A police spokesperson claiming the suspect refused commands. The officer feared for his life. Suspect. They called her a suspect while she was lying there, tubes in her arms, stitches across her side, still smelling of gunpowder. Tasha wouldn't let that stand. She tracked down witnesses, knocked on doors, pieced together contradictions. She found a teenage boy with a drone camera who had captured it all from above. And on the audio, Collins's voice was clear. She looks like a threat, or calm, almost routine, like he was commenting on the weather. That one sentence spread across the city like wildfire. Protest signs read, "Do I look like a threat?" Mothers took photos holding their babies with those same words scrawled on cardboard. The department tried to twist the story like they always do. Talk radio called it a split-second misjudgment. A local columnist wrote tragic misunderstanding, but the footage wouldn't let go. Tasha leaked transcripts from Collins's own body cam copies secretly handed over by Ramirez, the partner who couldn't sleep at night. The words were plain. She looks like a threat. If she makes a move, I'm not hesitating. Civil rights attorney Elena Cho filed a lawsuit, not just against Collins, but against the entire Cleveland Heights Police Department in the city itself. For once, they weren't just going after the trigger finger, they were going after the system that trained it. The trial was electric. Reporters packed the benches. Marissa sat near the front, pale but upright, her baby at home with a sitter. She didn't need to speak. Her presence alone was testimony. Ramirez took the stand first. The prosecutor asked, did she resist? He shook his head. No. Did she pose a threat? He hesitated, then said no. She adjusted her baby in her arms. That's it. When Tasha testified, she wore a black, steady as a stone. She played the drone footage for the jury, the words echoing through the courtroom. She looks like a threat. One juror, a woman with a gold wedding band, covered her mouth, tears rolling down her cheeks. But the biggest shock came when Collins himself stood up against his lawyer's advice. He looked straight at Marissa for the first time since that night. His voice cracked. I saw her. I saw her baby. And I still told myself she was a threat. Not because of what she did, but because of what I was taught to expect. The room went dead silent. He whispered, I'm sorry. The jury came back guilty on all counts. Aggravated assault with a deadly weapon, intent to cause grievous harm. Collins would serve real time. For once, there was accountability. But for Marissa, it didn't feel like victory. She still had to move into a smaller apartment, still had medical bills piling up, still watched her daughter flinch every time a door slammed. Justice, when it finally arrived, felt less like triumph and more like a bandage over a wound that would never fully close. Months later, on the side of an old brick building downtown, a mural appeared, Marissa holding Lila, arms wrapped around her child. The words painted above them, we are not what you fear. No artist signed it. No politician unveiled it. It just appeared like truth, refusing to stay buried. At the dedication, Marissa stepped up to the mic. No notes, just a photo of Lila tucked in her pocket. She looked out at the crowd, mothers, nurses, teachers, tired faces who had carried too much for too long, and said, I don't want to be remembered because I got shot. I want to be remembered because I kept going. I don't need to forgive the man who pulled the trigger. I need this country to stop giving him a reason to shoot. That line cut through the morning air like glass. Some people nodded, some wept. Others argued online later about whether forgiveness was the right response. But Marissa didn't care. She had finally spoken for herself. And that's the thing. This story doesn't wrap up neat with a bow. Collins went to prison, but the system that made him is still out there. Marissa and Lila are healing, but scars don't vanish overnight. What lingers is the question, the one I'll leave with you. When you look at a mother holding her child, what do you see? A woman who's tired but fighting to make it home, or a threat because of the hoodie on her back and the color of her skin? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Tell me if you think justice was really served, or if it's just another case of a system doing the bare minimum once it's cornered. Share what you've seen, what you've lived through, because silence only protects the wrong side. And maybe, just maybe, speaking up here can be the start of something bigger. So what do you see?